Yo. Oh, is my earphones on? They're not. Hello. Oh, I've got that that stupid cough that never goes away. So bear with me. Fatal, how you doing? Evening. Polly Socks, yo. So Bash, what's up, man? Pablo, Martin, what's up, dude? What is up? Hello. Dude, my hair's getting long too. It's just been growing. How your guys' weekends going so far? Going all right? Shaq, what's up, man? How you doing? Twice Taste, hey, thank you for the resub. Dude, a month away from a year of supporting. That's wild. BTVR, yo, hello. You've done nothing, so pretty great. Dude, nice. With satisfaction. I mean, sometimes you need the chill, you know? Like, I didn't stream on Thursday, and normally I feel kind of like, oh man, I need to stream, man. But mental health, physical health is extremely important. Like, do not ever put that to the side for anything. It's extremely important that you rest and recuperate, you know? Nice, Fatal. Funky, what's up? How are you? I'm good. I had a nap, and then I was like kind of sad because I needed the nap, but I wanted to use that time for stuff. I just like had to accept it, you know? Dude, 36 months. And dude, that's madness. Thank you. The work stress is high. It's interesting because work stress can also be like just it's just normal work. It's not like crazy stressful, but like it uses up your brain, right? Your brain energy, you get a certain amount of coins a day that you can spend on things. And once you're out of those coins, you're out of those coins. And sometimes work, you know, we'll spend all the coins. That's just how it is. So it's okay. And it's acceptable to be lazy from time to time. It's a good way to recuperate. Yeah, Anik, 3 years. It's madness. I really appreciate it. It's awesome being able to communicate with you and meet you in person, and just 3 years of that. Let's keep going. Let's go with more. We totally understand the streams really work. Thanks for everything. Dude, no problem, man. Yeah, I feel you, Anik. You can only push so much no matter what towards something. You have to also with the chill, right? You got to chill sometimes. It's good for you. What's up? The rugged beard gone? Oh, dude, it was bugging the hell out of me, to be honest. But it's all right. So maybe we should get into this, huh? Should we jump into some stuff? Let's tone this down here. Let you guys put on your own tunes. I'll get mine going here, and then look at your guys' work. Some good posts so far in the critiques channel. If you're new here or you're lurking, we have a Discord. If you need some feedback, you check the announcements channel. Oh, wow. Are we not getting a bot command coming up? That's interesting. The bot's lazy today. It's a Sunday. Bot's not here on Sundays. But yes, you can join our Discord. It's Sunday. He's off. Let's see if we can do discord.gg/the Dynasty Empire. I think that's it. No? But yeah, we're doing some critiques with you guys today. Let me just get some tunes on for myself. Lower it a little bit. And let's take a peek. Let me open some of them up so we don't have to sit here going through too many of them. There we go. Cool. Okay. Oh, I'm in a weird spot. Let me just move myself over here. All right. So this one actually was posted by Miranda, one of our moderators, one of our great moderators. But it's from Alex time. I guess Alex asked if Miranda could back him up. Was my assumption. Maybe Alex is at work or something, or is away. But yeah, Megascan is used for the vegetation, little rocks and snow texture. Everything else is custom. It's a great use of Megascans as well, because then you don't have to think about like how am I gonna make this all when your focus, I guess, is the bot, right? It's the mech. Dude, it's super cool. Okay. Let's get in here. I'm trying to see if I can find a good angle as well. So maybe we can go with this one. So let's copy this image. We'll bring it to Photoshop. Make sure this paste is okay. Nice. Okay, so maybe I need a new. That is interesting framing. There's no way that's the. It is. Okay, so compositionally, framing this type of stuff is always a bit of a balance, right? So being careful with the clipping of the frame. Maybe this tree either needs to be shorter or we need to pull the camera back a little bit further. Usually when it's a diorama, you want to center that diorama up. So the space that's here and the space that's here are going to be, it's going to just feel nicer if these are a little bit more level with each other. So something like that. And if you can, let's, there's usually like a little marker thing, isn't there? Strange. Anywho, let's bring this down just a little bit and we'll just stretch this out again on this side and we'll not worry about the top. But the idea is that you want to make sure that you get your tree in the frame, or we shrink the tree down. That way you're not getting in these weird tangents where you're meeting the edge of the image or clipping things in ways that distract from what you want us to be looking at. The next thing I wanted to comment on with this piece is the way that the base of the diorama is kind of set up. So I'm okay with this detail down here. Like, that's all right. Maybe we should get a little brighter here. So I like the platform here. When it comes to how much, it's like a tall cake, There's a lot of information here. And I would argue that you could probably get away with shrinking that. Like, I don't know if it needs to be that thick. You could probably trim it off right around here. And then that would be enough to visualize the platform. Takes away from like how much you're focusing on the platform and brings you more into focus of the mech itself. So I would definitely suggest doing that. When it comes to, like, if you were going to have this much room of rock and dirt, maybe this is all dirt. It doesn't read like it's intended for you to see that much, if that makes sense. Dude, D-Real, good to see you, man. Yeah. So I think lowering this would be really, really good. And then when we look at, let's look at some of the other images. There's some and this is a nice close-up. Like this one, you don't see the platform, which is kind of cool. It does feel like it's like everything. If you trace it out, we'll just do really bold shapes here. So if we trace this out and we kind of like look at the thing going here, it does feel like, it feels like the camera's tilted or leaning, especially these are like pointing this way. So there's a weird like framing in the way that the compositionally that's kind of set up. What's this right here? It's vehicle text. It's the vehicle template. So we'll just there, fix that right there. A little splotch there in space now. Some of the stuff I wanted to say is more about like the readability of the ground, and then also the lighting. So first of all, let's look at the readability of the ground. So the ground is very, I mean, maybe in this other image it shows the best because you start to see the trench. Like this angle is pretty powerful, actually. I would suggest maybe if we bring it here, I would suggest combining the benefits of like this area here. Like compositionally, the base feels so much more interesting with this, and it helps me understand why it's so thick. I'm like, okay, it's really thick because there's this whole trench thing that has to be displayed. But in the other angles, you don't see the trench really at all. What I would actually do is combine both of these images. So like if we grab like this one, I'm just gonna like primitively grab this and paste it here. Now, if this was like this, and the trench goes under the mech, see compositionally as well, there's quite a bit of strength there. It's not as weighted down. Like maybe we do this. But like getting it in the trees is kind of cool. Like maybe we erase this. So you really just kind of show the trench. And then it helps us understand like where this mech is. It gives it some weight as well. Compositionally, it's framed a little bit better. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's a very, like, we're just pretty strictly talking about composition when we look at it like this. But like already this reads a lot better, and you want to like think about how the ground, like how you read the ground. So with this here, it's like, okay, there's all this trench stuff going on. There's like this thing that they're walking over. Let me see if we can open that up a little bit more. No, maybe not. And then it helps you understand like, okay, these like tank traps, it just visually you understand it more. It's much stronger and easier to read. Rather, it's much stronger because it's easier to read. You're not wondering what you're looking at or what's going on. And then of course, I guess I would maybe play around with the shape of this rock to just be a more jagged or something. Make it more rock-like, and I think it'll read a little better. Dude, I love this detail. Probably last thing I'll say. You've got, I'll just paint, like, how am I going to paint this? You've got like large detail or medium details, right? These are medium details. And then you have large details, which are like these. These are all large details, right? But then when you look at this stuff, this is like your micro detail. This is like the really tiny stuff is here. There's really tiny stuff. I would argue that you should probably bring in, what is this? More of this one. So you got that rock size there. Bring some of that in. Like maybe you have one here, maybe one just around the corner, and then you can ground the smaller rock information around it, right? And that helps with like the transition between the elements, and it gives a sense of scale and understanding of the shapes that you're presenting in the environment. It'll help with the scale and grounding. Because see, right now we're seeing all these small things, but what we're still seeing is this line here. We're still seeing this. Oh man, can I even? We're still seeing this. And you want to break that up more. You can do that with like a larger rock here, and then you have your smaller rocks around. Maybe one of these like planks of wood is like down here, just to like cut this. Maybe this comes further out. I don't know. Just these details will help with connecting everything together. Having some snow on the mech would be really nice. So we were just looking at the environment. We didn't really look at the mech at all. The mech looks cool. It could use snow on it. It could use some variation in its materials. Look at the variation of materials on mechs that you see in other games, and see what you can do to add some variation. Like maybe these are more reflective, or like padded and darker. Like just you know what? Screw it. Let's go. I'm going in. I'm gonna do this really fast, and just gonna like shift the. Maybe I need to level it as well. Let's see. So some of this stuff could be darker, for example. So we can invert that, and then you can take these elements, make these like a different material. Man, that's not working for me. Maybe the saturation needs to be down. There we go. So like maybe that's a different material, right? And now you're getting this like really interesting difference between surfaces. Maybe this part here that rotates is like another material type. It's these differences that will really like get your model to pop and look more designed. Like structurally, it's looking pretty designed, but it's not looking like it needs elements where like see, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but everything looks very similar in roughness. And yeah, getting snow up here would be really nice. I don't know if this is snow or if it's lighting, but that would go a long way. Long way. Even if it's just these. You know? Maybe this whole strip in the middle is supposed to be like this dark. Just getting that variation would be really, really nice. Maybe the knees are dark too. And don't just think about albedo, even more so the roughness. Like what different materials are being applied here? Because right now it's very flat green, and that's it. Getting snow on there and material differences through roughness and albedo and metallic, if there's exposed metal bits, it's gonna be great. You're gonna get so much more out of it. But cool. Hopefully that's helpful. We can move on to the next one now. This back shot is very super. Like, I don't know if you need that. I would do a turn, like a spin around, like a turntable, with the lighting locked, so you get the perfect lighting setup, and then the object is perfectly lit that whole time, and it's just being rotated around, so you can see all the surfaces reacting. He used to be an adventurer, but then he took a Photoshop to the knee. Oh man. All right, next up. Oh, this is already looking really cool, man. This has transformed quite a bit. Hayden, last scene didn't really work out, so I decided to create a different one, and I personally already like this one much more. I will say this is much more dynamic. Visually, it's much more dynamic. I would love to hear your thoughts on this blocka. If there's anything I could further improve in the composition, the lighting, or the general ideas of what I could add. Okay, let's dive into this one. Maybe I can get my tablet. Hang on here. December's officially started in Dintown. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Two seconds here. December. Jazz, what's up? How you doing? Cool. So, composition. First of all, let's do this. Well, free transform? No. Where's my? Did they get rid of the grid stuff? Weird. I don't want to freehand this. Oh my god, they. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We're just gonna look at it like this. So, compositionally, like framing wise, this is nice. We've got this. We've got this line. We've got this. And this with a line to it from here, right? This is nice too. It feels like maybe it's not needed. There's a lot of things happening in this image. Afternoon. So these are pretty level. This is one thing I wanted to talk about. Just delete that. So these are pretty level. I would actually decide which one you want to be the primary topic, which I assume is this. Like if we go in, let's just like, we'll just grab what we can here. We'll see. Wow, that's thanks, Photoshop. I would maybe bring this closer, and we'll just like do this. Hi, Madhu. I don't know if you need the telephone pole stuff here, so I'm just gonna wipe that away. Don't mind me. Hi. Doggo came for a visit. What are you doing? Yeah? Come here. Wow. Yes. What's that right there? He was trying to get me to come out. Okay, where were we? Like I feel like maybe it could be a combination of the two. Maybe this doesn't need to be this big. Maybe this. Maybe this building could just be smaller. I'm gonna try doing Is it gonna work? Oh my god, I'll take it. Uh, cool. So let's that's funny. Um, I think if this was just smaller, maybe it'll just draw the attention a little bit away from, like, they're right now they're conflicting is what I was trying to say. So otherwise, I like the composition. I don't know logic wise what we're looking at. Oh, the coughing has started. Maybe too much talking. So this is cool. We got a person on the top of this this home watching a spaceship take off. That's cool. I like that. We've got some type of generator type system thing going on here that's powering stuff here, maybe. But this person's a very messy person. So there's containers like all over the place, right? So you got to ask yourself, like, what's, is it supposed to be disorderly? Why is it disorderly? What's the, to me, it tells me that this guy doesn't really care about the environment. Because this looks like it's all his doing, his or hers doing, you know what I mean? Otherwise, I think compositionally quite strong. Maybe the bottom line here, I would maybe pull these cables a little bit further away from the bottom edge of the frame. And I mean, right now we have the tree line is just like this. It's like a straight, oh man, what am I doing? It's like this straight line. It would be interesting. I wonder if you could raise it like that. Because I don't think you should raise it on this side. I mean, you could. You could make it more in a valley. Just if you do a curve that's more like this, could be interesting on just the horizon line. Otherwise, pretty cool. I can't tell where's a good spot for the moon, but I think that can be decided later. And yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what this is going to be like. I'm imagining it's that very like faceted shapes, like hexagonal shapes to match that. Maybe this could go here. Man, that generative fill thing kind of freaked me out just now. Or the content aware fill, even. That's not great, though. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to find like a good. Also, how does so they go up this way. How do they get in there? Because it doesn't really look like there's any room. I can kind of see it. I don't know. It just feels like there might not be any room. Compositionally, though, looking pretty cool. Just some slight adjustments. Nice. What's going on here? Why can't I just easily ban this person? Suspicious user. Can I? Why can't I do anything about this person? Oh, there it is. Boop. You've been booped. I booped you. They go into 2 cylinders on the side. Let's see here. Yeah, with these. No, I mean like if we put this back where it was, right? With the scale and everything. Let's get this kind of close. Knowing like how this person walks into their place, they have to step over these cables. I think if these were positioned a little friendlier, just for navigation, it'll feel more comfortable how this person gets up here. I think it's okay if the door is kind of shut like that. I see the cables coming through, but it just feels like there needs to be more walkway space. But yeah, cool. Dude, this is going to be rad. I like this one better for sure. I think doing this to the tree line could be really nice. Doesn't need to be too strong, but yeah. Ooh, that's a Gouda. That's a deep question, man. I'm gonna paste that over here and see if I can get to it shortly. Yeah, running the cables under the stairs. The thing is they go to the side. They go to the right. But this being here blocks you seeing that, so you don't really understand the... Either way, dude, the amount of times walking up this, I would probably trip on one of these at one point and then just be... that'd be brutal. Yeah. So, let's jump to the next one. It's quite a bit of you guys posting, so I don't know if and when I'm going to get to you, Gouda. But stick around for the whole stream. Maybe I can get to it. Oh my god, you guys blind yet? Whoa. Okay, we got Tyler up next. Man, I wish I could just copy these directly. Can I? If I do this and I copy image, can I just... Okay, cool. Here's my work in progress project. Just leaving block out on the props now, and the sarcophagus was the metric asset I made before the scene. The metric asset. Okay. Let's see here. So, I guess from like a composition standpoint, what do you mean this sarcophagus was the metric asset I made before the scene? This looks cool. Is this supposed to be a sarcophagus thing? Like there's someone inside of it? Is that correct? Or am I imagining things now that you've added that text into the thing? Because when I look at this whole image, framing wise, I would probably swap these two so that you have a higher point and then a lower point. Just from like, because then you get this effect. There's a body in there. Okay, so we have this comment that I had, right? So basically what we want to do is probably this, and then up to this, and then you have this high point, and then we go down, and then we're immediately here, and so this is how like I'm reading the shape language of the composition. And when you're let's see here, when we look at this, the thickness of this, the depth of this, it feels like it should be deeper. I can't imagine someone being in there. It just doesn't look comfortable. Otherwise, it's like the language that's under here confuses me a bit. I guess it's supposed to be there so that you can move it, right? So those roll is my assumption. It kind of feels like it should be maybe either more square or like starting to go round. to match the platform, if that makes sense. So you've got this language going on, right? And it's like, okay, do you get that here as well? It's just conflicting with the current design of everything else, right? This is cool though. It just feels like it needs to be deeper or like thicker. If we look at the rest of the image, I think I really like the edge here. Maybe if it was like, as you start to polish it up, play quite a bit with the shape language of like what's here, because you could get some cool like just some breakup, even if it's just like a little bits of grass off of these would be cool. Maybe that's a little extreme, but let's look at maybe the shape of the back wall. So this is nice. You get this cool language here. Make sure that you get a good separation right here from the arch. It feels like there's separation here. So it's like, for example, if let's just like, I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm just going to grab that. And then maybe we can, nope, that's not working. Hang on here. I like this darker color here as like a multiply. And then only on those pixels. No? You don't want to work with me on this? Like, what the heck, man? Did I lose the selection? Maybe that's what it was. There we go. Cool. Man, this is surprisingly straight edged here. But yeah, if you were to take that, and then let's just paint behind there. This type of situation. This will help with like the readability of like this of the space itself. Because you need it to separate itself so that the whole back wall, because it feels like, how do you describe that? This is like half the battle is describing these things. It feels like it goes like this and then back and then around again, if that makes sense. Neville, what's up, man? How you doing? So hopefully you get what I mean. The only other thing I would say is like this shape here is very, like if you simplify it, it's just this. Okay. You're just doing this. And then this one is like, I think if you could expand on that, maybe you do this, right? But maybe you bring this further out. Maybe this goes into the grass and the grass is like kind of further out here. Just so you get a little bit more like interesting shape language going on between how the wall is broken up. It basically feels like you're trying to do this, but you're trying to do it in a limited amount of space instead of like letting it naturally just expand outwards at the amount that it would. Yeah, I mean, blockout wise, it's pretty strong though. I don't know. I guess is this part of a dome? The dome behind the back? I'm not sure what this is right now. I don't know if it's needed. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think you need that there. I think it confuses because if you can't explain to us quickly that it's a dome, we'll wonder what it is, or it'll feel out of place. But yeah, cool, man. I'm digging it. Oh, I don't think I can highlight this. Can I? Oh, yeah, nice. Let's do some stuff like this. Some patterns that kind of, I don't know what you could do for patterns, but you know. It's a smiley face. I'm excited for this one though, dude. This is going to be cool, I think. Anyways. Excuse me. I think I would just get rid of the bottom detail. Just let the sarcophagus go all the way to the ground. Arclight, have a good evening. Okay, let's look at the next one then. Nice. Is this copy? There it is. It is copying. So this looks pretty cool. It does feel still dude, this, oh my god, I'm gonna be losing it this whole stream. This footrest area feels strange. These I would just put to the side under here or something. I don't know of too many people that, I mean, maybe I'm just old now. I don't know. I don't know of too many people who put their shoes right at the edge of the bed. They usually put it somewhere off to the side, and then, like, if anything is near the bed, it's like your pants that you just took off right there, and then you just crawled right in, and you're out. Hey, no problem, Tyler. I hope that helps, dude. This feels artificial. It's just really thick. Yeah, no shoes in the bedroom. But like, ask yourself, where do they put their clothes, their dirty clothes? No shoes in the house, bro. I would do something with the ceiling. I don't know. It just doesn't. The thing is I guess on pieces like this, I don't really know what to comment on. Like, usually scenes like this are like ArcViz, right? And the progress of ArcViz heading towards more realistic is wrinkling the pillows and like making the blanket look disheveled, like someone just got out of bed, or it's like someone was sitting on the bed. But everything else tends to feel very sterile. So it can feel really weird to feedback on this, because I want to tell you to put more story into it, but that's not really what you do for ArcViz. For me, I guess I would say just pay attention to scale. When it comes to scale is going to be everything in your scene. Because I think that's the only thing that we can really pick up on in ArcViz that kind of feels strange, other than the weird, disheveled but organized, pristine scene. The shadows do feel very sharp, yes, but it's like the what do you think of the scale in this render? Generally, it feels pretty good. It's this piece that feels a little off. I would really work on accent walls if you're going to be doing ArcViz type renders like this. Like, blank walls are like the least interesting. They, they're like what you find in most like Swedish apartments. Is just they're all white walls. Like, paint this wall or paint this wall, or like this panel up here, make it like an accent to the rest of the scene. Man, live, laugh, love decal on the wall. Dude. My God, this cough. But yeah, something to bring personality into it. You killed him. Oh man. um, how you doing, suspicious? Yes, they are sRGB, except for the roughness. Live, laugh, cough. Oh my God. But there's not too much to feedback on with this scene, and it's more just about like doing something with the walls and checking the scale on the this foot, like, I don't know what you even call these at the base of the bed. I've got the cough that you get. I've got the cough that you get after you've been sick. This is like week 3 of it, or something like that. One color thingy. The light from outside is usually cooler or colder than the inside. Check the reference. So I'll be I'll be brutally honest then. If we're looking at it against the reference, so the reference is very small, of course, right? But I'm going to scale this up. So if we go against the reference, so what you have done is you've recreated a scene, right? You added a little bit of your own touch, but what you have removed is a lot of the color palette that they built, or like the theme around the scene. Like, I would take this as an inspiration. Like, so you've got like 3 colors they're working with. It looks like maybe 4, with the accent being like the green of the plants. And when you have those, I think what I would do to challenge yourselves, instead of making a replica of it, but making your own take on it, I would take the theming of this image and use that as the theming for you to make the living room in the same house or something like that. Because all that, this is why it's usually it can be a bad idea to recreate an environment from a game. Unless you're like doing fan art and whatnot. If you're trying to like grow as an artist, all that will happen is if you show me this reference, I will compare your work to this reference, and the reference is better than your work because of like you've removed a lot of the colors or the themes and the color palette that like an interior designer has added to it, right? Like, you have fewer pillows. There's no like color variation on the bed. The plant in the back is much smaller. Like, I like that there's 2 here. I really feel like there should be something bigger here, because there's so much headroom. And then like these paintings really stand out because they're like using completely different colors from everything else. That being said, I mean, I also don't really, this image is kind of like, it's very simple. There's not a lot you can do with this. It needs to feel lived in. This looks like it's in some house of a person who is never home, and they like everything to be super like tidy. Looks nice, but there's not too much to feedback on. I like the wood elements that you added. They probably just need to be integrated more with the rest of the, like, the warmth of them versus everything else is very different. Like, that color should probably be this color. But yeah, these are very hard for me to critique on, to be honest. Monstera? Dude, Monsteras are dope. Okay. Next one's a gun. How exciting. Let's see here. From Camille. Funky, I hope that was helpful, by the way. I mean, this looks pretty cool. I'm not a weapons artist, but oh man, the close-up's really nice. I wonder if the wood material is feeling a little strange. Yeah, see, like the wood here and the wood here are different, aren't they? Right, so you're changing the material to... Interesting, okay. So I don't think you need this many renders of just like material swapping. I have my hand on the mute button for my coughing. Like this angle, I don't think you need this one. That's awesome. I don't think you need this angle either. The lighting of this shot with a dark background feels really jarring. It's like you feel like it should be... It needs something. It needs to be somewhere in that sense. Let me see if we can... And theming wise, like the silencer here, the like super silencer, just has really strange colors against the rest of the asset. I want to see if I can... Yeah, it feels like it should be closer to this and maybe like a little less saturated in the wood material. And then we take this and we probably shift it to something a little bit more in tune with the theme. Yeah, something like this. And then you really need something in the background. Like, it's so weird if it's just black back there. Even if it's just gradients. I think what would be really cool is to build a scene that has like if you were looking at a side view. So if there's a back wall and then the floor. And then you drape a cloth that kind of gives you this nice curve. And then you place some boxes, maybe a bigger one back here. And then you drape this over the tops of those. And then you place your weapons on top of these or against this. Because then you get these nice shapes with nice shadows that are soft and give you the depth and the details that you want without having to like build an environment or anything like that. Yeah, because then you could set your gun on this like nice fabric table that matches the background and just kind of curves. It's all smooth and flowing, and there's a bit of like wrinkles and flow in the shapes that are in the back. I think that would be really helpful. But otherwise, I mean, the modeling looks good. It's mainly like scrolling exhaustion. Like I want to see, like I see this, and I'm already pretty like I don't know if I need to see the top. A close-up like this with one wood grain type, like this one I actually like quite a bit. I think leaving just this image and cutting this one would be good. And then I need to see like your wireframes and how you're texturing this. Like what's the res of the textures. It looks pretty high res, so there's that. But we want to see like your high poly. We want to see your low poly with the wireframe. We want to see your texture sets. See how you perceive roughness. And you can't do that if we can't see those maps. I think that's probably the most valuable thing that you can do. And then cutting down on the scrolling. Like these dark versions with the no background, I would cut all of these actually. All of these ones, you don't need them. They're not adding more to your post. Could probably have like this one and this one if you want. And then like these two views. And then wireframes and texture maps. You always recommend reducing the number of screenshots. Is that because less is inherently more, or because you're seeing problems? It's a combination of a bunch of things. You're opening yourself up for more criticism, or for us to spot something that doesn't look right, that maybe you didn't intend for us to see. More is less. But like, technically, I want to understand your understanding of PBR, and I want to see that through your texture maps. I can see it here and it looks pretty good, but maybe you're doing all types of weird stuff to the texture maps that just aren't allowed in game development, you know? So I could scroll through less images to make an assessment faster, and if less images are stronger, and then you're showing me the technical back end of it as well with your texture maps and your UVs and wireframes, I'll be able to make a call quicker. Yeah, Fatal, the gray values and metallic map is my trigger. But that'll go away soon. Substrate kind of solves that, doesn't it? It allows for the gray. But cool. Thank you for posting. All right, next one is from ASM. Let's see if this will just paste. Nice. This looks pretty sick. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. Tiny res. Yes, so definitely when you're getting your renders, try and render this out at like a 4K and then downscale it. Good framing though, definitely. Composition's pretty on point. Trying to take this in right now and figure out what I'm looking at. So this looks like it's a lab. So your greens are very, very green. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Does it need some place of rest? I think it's okay. It is very busy, but I think it's okay, and it's because I think it was like if I go to value only, everything is kind of in the mid, like all the details that are near each other, even though high frequency, are kind of close to each other in their value. So they don't really scream at you and go, look at all this detail. I have nowhere for my eyes to rest. Like even with all the information up here, it's actually still pretty calm feeling. So you've achieved a lot of detail without like screaming at us. But yeah, the green, I think the green is the biggest issue currently. So like if we go to your greens here and we just, I mean, you could lower the saturation on it, which is kind of sad. Maybe it's shifting it to more, hang on, maybe it's the yellows. Yeah, it's the yellows in your green. So like by toning your yellows down, the green starts to become more natural. Let's go to your greens also and just kind of push those down a little bit. Yeah, because if we look at the difference, it's actually blending them in a lot more automatically or just naturally. You could keep them, I mean, you're still getting the kind of bloom effect here. So you probably don't need to worry about it too much. The patchiness of the grass was the other thing that kind of stuck out to me. Let's see if we can. So you've got like what feels like this. And I think you want to try and hide these lines of like contact points of grass, I would just go crazy with like a little grass mesh that you can place that kind of takes up this space. And maybe like if you want to go really nuts, model a grass prop that kind of just follows this shape of a tile line. One that's long and then one that's kind of short. And then you can prop with those and rotate them in all types of directions to get them to like feel like they're growing inside of the crevices. This is a way for you to make it look like it's naturally overgrowing, and it's kind of eating its way through the grout of the tiles and like just kind of taking over. But see, like back here, I kind of feel like this would all be grass, and then it would just be kind of like slowly like transitioning away from that with the little smaller bits. Maybe I can actually make it green. That'd be nice. But you can see what it does just by doing that. It could be really strong, I think. So that'll help with transitioning from like the overgrowth in. With these ones, these feel like cards. I mean, I know they're cards. What I would actually do is, I don't know if you've made these textures yourself, but I would try and remove half of the leaves in it so that there's more alpha, like more empty space. Because then the illusion of the cards is harder to pick up on, like as a pattern of like, oh, this is a surface. And then if you need more leaves, you actually just put more cards under it. So you'll get more depth and volume automatically for that. That'll help a lot. Like a lot. Trying to see what else we could do here. I'm trying to decide if it's too dark or not. Let me just like run this levels thing here. So where it's black, I would try and get rid of the black. Black is basically, so what I'm doing is I'm mapping this gradient across your black to white range in your image. So anything you can do to like bring the, like if I run a levels on this and try and push that info, now we can see in there a little better. That would be really good. Of course, it's probably messing up all types of stuff right now. So something to black. Yeah, black is dead pixels. So you can see it's really washing out everything, which you don't necessarily want. But maybe we can... Maybe we can paint it in the areas that are really dark. And then just tone this down. And you just need to be able to see in there just a little bit. And you can see that's helping a little bit more. I think that's doing it. So we can bring the original image. Because I do like the depth you're getting. It's just in those really dark areas, especially over here, it's really dark. But it is nice having some separation past this pillar in the table so that everything is focusing here. So let's maybe we tone it down here. And then bring the levels up. Something like that. Maybe. And then let's put a layer on there, invert it. And then we just pop the table. Oh, maybe that's too much. But yeah, I think it's like tuning the focus and getting the viewer to look at very specific things. It's interesting. I think the only other thing, maybe, let's see. Let's put this here. I like to play the camera raw filter just to test temperatures. With painting the specific areas, okay with post-processing. So this is one of those things that I would suggest that you should be able to solve in the engine. Let me see here. Temperature. I see by making it cooler. That's kind of interesting. There's some cool effects happening here with that. Got a little saturated with that. But you could mask this cool temperature that's happening and leave it for like the shadowed areas and let where the light's coming in be the warmer value. That's kind of interesting. Just it's a balance. They're just tweaking things. But hopefully that was helpful. Okay, let's hop to the next one. So the next one's from Nick. Good old Nick. Let me see if I copied it. Yeah, cool. So this one, it's me, Raggedy. Hey, Sam. Hey, no problem, man. So with this one, I think right now what you're trying to do is find your composition. You could put like a basic tileable rock material on this and like a tileable wood material on this for now, and just figure out like where you want your camera angle. Because right now, I can tell we're focusing here, but compositionally it's just there's not a lot happening. Do we have like the reference of the? Because there's more to it than this, right? In the concept, I think the reason that concept is working is because of those other elements. So if we're trying to cut it down for like time, we really would need to focus on how you transition the water to the rocks, getting the rocks to look pretty natural, and framing the machine. You toss the concept in here. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see if we can. Nice. I think you can actually get some posing characters for Unreal these days for free even. But you can see how, man, a lot of the work is going to be the rocks. And then this kind of barnacle-y looking surface. This little detail here. Oh yeah, those are totally barnacles. Getting those as like a material that you can paint on the meshes is going to be really important, because they're kind of all over, and there's quite a bit of water. The rock's in pretty early, and then the sticks are actually pretty small. So I'd end your rocks a little bit earlier. Of course, there's some rocks out here, but they're all quite submerged. So a lot of the work is going to be on like getting the water to read with the materials and getting a good reflection. Yeah, right now the cables and the rocks have the same color, whereas in here they're very. I mean, the cables are quite a bit darker. They're all kind of sharing a similar color palette, but I see what you mean. The structures that are in the distance, they have this like taper. If you get that taper in yours, it'll help, I think. And even if it's just a card that you place out here that just does these dots of lights, and you just sculpt a flattish terrain out here, That'll do a lot. But it's definitely it's going to be materials and and even more so the water, because you need this reflection, you need this stuff happening as well, and you need all of this. This is not going to look like your regular water. Glendis, what's up? How you doing? Is this rock? Yeah. So these are actually all sticks all the way to here, and then this is a rock on the other side. But pay attention to like how damaged they are, the variation in height, and like where there's gaps. Like I don't think there's one actually right here. It's like this. But yeah, big focus is water, the barnacle material, which maybe you can do that with a mask and just paint between two materials. And getting all of the colors to kind of sing together. Yeah, your rocks probably need to stop around here. And then they can still be there, but it's primarily water after that. You can see it's like after this. Nailed it. Look at this drawing skills. And occasionally, of course, there's rocks here. But man, we got to focus on that water. It's definitely going to be some type of normal noise that you're running or panning across it just to get those long ripple lines. But I believe. Cool. I hope that was helpful. There's a lot of stuff to, yeah, see, you're getting the lines here, but now you got to get them small with the little micro noises in there. And then I guess make it not see-through. You don't need to see through that water, so it can almost look like a mirror. It's a very stylistic water. Pretty cool though. Where are we at here? All right, Tom the student. I say Tom the student. It's like oily water for sure. Let's take a look at what you're up to. Delete this. No, cool. Yeah, cool. Copy image, please. Nope. Okay, hang on here. Currently working in a small group with a small group of students on a small cozy game. I'm helping with the environment, art, and lighting. Would like to know if you have any feedback points. Man, this is super cozy. Let's see if we can copy this one. Nice. Oh, that's why. They're like hella res. Hella res. There we go. Okay. So let's look at this one first. So this one's quite balanced. This one feels pretty good. It does look like a game, so there's a lot of like details that you can be pretty forgiving about. Like the way the wood fence feels very like, you know, it's very repetitive. But it's got the cozy vibes. And like, look at these guys. Look at these guys. I'm curious what this is. Are those cheeks? What are those? But it looks pretty awesome. I'm curious what you do here. Like what this game is about. But we go to the night one. Man, the night one's really cool because you're using the color of these shadows. These are really, really nice. I think what I would actually do is probably work on the grass that's outside of the lit area to be darker. Or more like more subdued. Because like, so you see how bright this one is? I don't know. Maybe it's okay. let me see if I can like, I don't know how I would adjust that. Maybe more like that. And then I don't know. It just feels like it should be darker. Like just outside of this space. I'm just going to do this, which is way too dark, of course, for the other bigger objects. Like the trees and stuff are getting just destroyed by this. But I think it could help. I think it just is the color of the grass needs to be just a little lower in value. Because you wanna sample it off of the ground, which it kind of looks like you are. I don't know. This looks pretty cool. Maybe the nighttime version is just a little too saturated. Yeah, that helped a ton. So you can see what we did is, let me dupe this again. So just pushing the saturation down a little bit, like -17. Like, cause some areas are just glowing with color, which felt like too much when you compare it to the theming of like what the colors look like here. Like you can see how like this one's just blasting. It's actually helping us in the outer area as well. You feel like the daytime one's a bit flat? It might be because of the I don't mind it, but I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I think your colors are just really oversaturated in the original nighttime version. Because you can see it's like how just lowering the saturation is kind of pushing the grass down, which is quite interesting. And it's also allowing for the definition of the flowers to pop a bit more. That's quite interesting. Huh. Yeah, I think desaturating just a hair will help with the nighttime version. For the daytime version, I think you probably just need the shadow direction to be more noticeable. So like with this one, you've got shadows coming from like the light sources, but in the daytime one, you've got it coming from the sun, right? But the sun is behind us, so all the shadows are kind of for the most part being hidden. I think if the shadows were casting out this way, and more things were casting shadows, it could probably help. Yeah, that'd probably do it. A bit overexposed. Yeah, I was trying to like see what you could do about it, but I wonder if you no just taking the yeah, it's just kind of dropping it a little bit. Because you can see there is a pretty big spike in the histogram around the brighter range. And you kind of want it to be like up here and then kind of come down. Because it's daytime, it's probably going to be more centered. Yeah, and the God rays are pointing. Yeah. Yeah, you'll want the God rays. You'll probably want less God rays. Probably not have them under the trees. Probably have them actually over the... Like if we dupe this and we just like wash this a bit. Hang on here. Something like that. And then let's put a mask on there. Having the God rays on top of the trees is actually going to give you a much more dynamic environment. And then just make sure that those God rays and the shadows are pointing the same way. So those God rays are facing this way. You're going to want your shadows on this side. Yeah. You want your shadows on this side. So all the shadows will be pointing this direction. Pretty cool, though. I like it. I like the scene. I definitely remove most of your God rays and just have like the God ray effect coming from up here and just have it a few of them. And they're just kind of like a vignette to the scene. Yeah, this is really cool though. I love it. Oh. Yeah, that's interesting. Would it still be considered God rays if the beams of light were piercing through the shrubbery from a mystical source? Yes, it would be actually. Because we say God rays no matter. Because we call it that as a feature. All right, so the next one. The next one, let me read it first before I bring it onto the stream. It says, hi, working on a game-ready asset for school assignment right now. Vibe is post-apocalyptic, and the texture will be done with 90s anime shaders. Cool. Mostly looking for feedback on readability and overall silhouette, shape of my blockout. Last picture is the beginning of the high poly. I'm allowed to deviate from the concept art. And then there's a message right at the end that says, AI alert. We are allowed to use AI by the teachers. So the concept art was made with DALL-E. Text was written by myself. So if we go in here, let me just look here. So this is with DALL-E. So for me, I'm all right that you're using that because that's what your school is telling you. And you're iterating on it and building like an actual thing in 3D. So you're going to have to solve a lot of this stuff. You're going to, what? We call it that because we believe. Boodlestein, that's great. So I don't mind this stuff. I mean, it looks like you're going to town, man. This looks pretty intense. But yeah, you have to sort out a lot of the stuff yourself anyways. Man, look at this UI. Generally speaking, it looks pretty solid. I think when we look at the way this is attached here, right? I would look at like how this is attached and ground it more in yours. Right now, everything's pointing straight down. This is mine. Yes, there's a lot of thinking about how to get the janky looking 2D into 3D. The forever battle. Let's copy this image. So when we look at the things that are sticking out to me right now is like making sure that this actually looks like it's strapped onto the character. So like this detail here feels like maybe we should be relying on that to lean into how it's connected to the body itself. And then just natural weighting. I know in the concept image, like the generated image, this is here and then this is straight up and down. I would follow the flow of the body. So like all of that info should get realigned. Like, let me see if I can get that. So this should probably be more like this. if that makes sense. You love the Blender UI colors? They're pretty epic. If I sub, can you do 20 push-ups? No. No. Why? You can still sub though. You're welcome to sub, but I'm not doing 20 push-ups for a sub. I appreciate you looking out for my health though. Holy cow. Maybe 2. I don't even know if I could do 20. I do 20 and then later I'd feel terrible. Oh, do it. Answered like a true game dev. What, my lack of like arm strength? We should all do some push-ups together. All right, if you gift 10 subs, chat has to do push-ups, and I will do them with you. And it'll be 10 push-ups. But I don't know how many you have to gift, like a bunch, I guess. I don't know, like 10 gifts? 5 gifts? 10 gifts, and then 10 people. The people that get the gifts have to do 10 push-ups. But overall, I'm liking this. This is dope. This is really cool. I want to look at the other... There was 2 other images. Like this. Those are rookie numbers. Of course they're rookie numbers. You think I have non-rookie arms? So what I would say with this is I'd be careful on these types of details. Just because there's a lot of information. There's a lot of information happening here. So there's like design questions where you're like, what is this line for? What is this line for? These, I would be careful with these, like really careful. Because they end up becoming high frequency detail that doesn't have like a design or reasoning behind it, like why it's there. It's okay for it to be empty for now. These types of details you could add later in Substance Painter if you wanted to. So just to keep that in mind. And I definitely work on trying to get away from like these really primitive shapes. So what you're seeing right now is like, basically, it was a box, and then you beveled it, and then you made sure that the corners are beveled, right? Figuring out what you can do with those shapes. Like, this is nice. This cut-in. Maybe this curve. Like, this curve should probably match the container as close as possible. But then, like, I don't know, maybe this should be rounded and then straight. Let me look at the... Yeah, see, there's a lot of rounding stuff going on in here. Man, this thing's crazy. It's like even there, it's like this is kind of rounded, but then it goes in. Let me see if I can... So like, if you were to take this from the side view, right now yours is doing this. And maybe it can be doing... this. And then this can still be sharp like that, but this is coming down in this direction. That's going to look much more engaging, like surface wise. So trying to just kind of break away from like the primitive shapes that you initially started with to try and make it feel more like functionally designed. I believe I'm outsourcing my push-ups while getting paid for it, I think is what I think that's what I did. Look at real life. Yeah, that's great advice. By the way, if there are any people in chat who may be new to design, my advice would be to look at real life weapons and see how elements are. Machinery, all that stuff, how stuff's built, how stuff's put together. Because like, for example, this detail here is very, very small, but it's high detailed. I don't know if you need all that information in there. Like, I'd probably put the circle here with like a little inset, and that's it. And then like these details wouldn't even be there. Maybe this rail thing, this thing here, should even be a little bit thicker. So then you just have this, you know? Hopefully that helps. It's cool looking though. This looks like it's going to be really cool. Don't hesitate to put the screen further in as well. You can see all the layering of pieces. Instead of making it all in one element, don't hesitate to like split it into multiple panels that are overlapping on top of each other. Because at the end of the day, you're going to bake it out anyways, so it's all good. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot of like beveling and like panel work. And pushing the screen in will give you some nice depth as well. Oh, I see what was going on here. Yeah, this looks like AI shenanigans. Like these. Avoid those. Those look really weird for no, like they're there for no functional reason. Anyways, really cool. AI line work. All right, next up is Joe. Or Joel. Where are we going here? Dude, this looks cool. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for sharing your work. Oh yeah, and I need to give you where is it at here? The community tag. All right, we've got 2 more to go, and then we'll call it good. I think. Let's see here. I need to copy this image, I think, and just bring it over here. Nice. Okay, cool. Man, composition-wise, like this is really nice. There's a weird like thin line happening here that I'd be curious if we can solve somehow. But I can tell this is like the edge of this building, right? So, good afternoon. I'm blocking out the scene. I'm not following a strict concept. That's cool. Because I haven't found anything similar. I'm recreating a cozy Mediterranean street. Just wanted to know your opinion on composition. If you want some references, this is the street view I am using. Oh, what? 2 seconds. So I just go to Google Maps then. Okay, maybe we can tear this out here. Oh, this is really cool. Yeah, I like the references you're using. So you can see, like, in the real world location, how the stairs get integrated into the environment. They just kind of continue all the way down. Hello, pigeon. I wouldn't hesitate to just make your stairs solid back there. Just make this all part of the thing. And I really like the curve, like the bend you have going for the stairs. Like this kind of dip here. What the heck is going on? Let me draw. Yeah, so this kind of like dipping that's happening. Make sure it happens on the top here as well. It'll read. Do the pigeon. I feel like the stairs might be a tad bit too steep. Like I would elongate them more. Like maybe first step's here. This last step maybe is here. So maybe you can like, you know, make your way up over a longer extent. There is no railing here, minus this railing up here. I would just stop the railing here. I wouldn't design any of the railing here. Because you can make this like wind this way, you know? And it all just kind of goes down. And then you have your railing into here. Something like that. Oh, this is really cool. Man, look at this. It's intriguing. So compositionally, I'm digging this. I think this is gonna look really cool. I would maybe take this building and just shove it this way a little bit. Maybe so instead of the line being here, it goes to here. Just to give you a little bit more room. Yeah, right now it's hollow under the stairs. We were just talking about like making it solid there. You might have sent you the wrong location, really? Hang on. I probably did it wrong. No, this is the location. I think. Let me see. Let me just drop the camera there. Maybe that'll do it. Yeah, no, that's the spot that you sent me. Maybe turn around. Hang on, I got teleported somewhere. I mean, if I turn around, I get this type of stuff. Either way, I think you're heading in the right direction. It's just really understanding the... Do you see, like, even going down here? All the ground is just, like, steps that slowly, like, make their way down. And, like, this is solid, but then there's, like, 3 steps here. So the steps are very long and progressive, more like a ramp, but that is stairs. And then they usually just go all the way down to the ground. Man, look at this wall. It's like painted, but like also like super exposed. And then there's just a little cup in the corner there. Like, whose cup is that? Must have been from this, whatever this place is. There's like a little cafe over here. Either way, I think your composition's pretty solid. It's just this building on the left, maybe pushing it a little bit more to the left or slightly rotating it, so we get more of like this this funnel direction. So everything's kind of leading you in. It's clearly a pigeon cup, as a rare pigeon breed. The scene will be stylized as well, and I'm feeling that also. So it's really cool. This whole building is blue. Maybe you do a split here. Let me look in the... Do you see how there's like material differences where it splits? It's like 2 different buildings. I think if you were to do something like that here, could be really cool. Yeah, I wonder what that would... Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of it. I mean, maybe it could be pretty close in color, but just slightly different. That'd be kind of cool. But I'll leave that up to you. Yeah, dude, this is rad. I love this whole path thing going on here. I would just take this first set of stairs though and really extend it out. Give it that character. It'll help us lead up to it, and it won't feel as like strangely steep. It feels extremely steep right now. Like we're in Amsterdam or something. Yeah, and the colors feel really good. Like, just in your blockout colors, I'm super excited to see where this goes. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be curious to see how you're doing your texture work as well. Super nice. Okay, next up. Next up's Poodlestein. Let's Is there sound to this? I'm curious. Oh my god, there is. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Me. Okay. Oh my god, Yoda's there now too. Yo! So my initial reaction is there's a lot of similar shots. Oh, dude, that's dope. With the creature flying by. Okay, hang on. So you have this shot, and then you have this one. I would almost start with that one. Let me see what the... I mean, I guess it's similar to this one. I think this angle with the flying is a good, strong, like, first shot. One that comes by real close. And then, of course, I'm sure you see, like, the artifacts. There's, like, some weird lighting stuff that happens here. And then the smoke here feels a little gamey. Like, it just feels like you can feel the individual sprites. Probably just need to soften it up a bit. Maybe it's because it's also, like, a lighter smoke. Like, the ground fog that's down here is quite dark. But then all of the smoke that's here is pretty light. I think balancing the brightness of these could help. But dude, the amount of lighting that's going on here, man, that's like this, that's sick. Dude. The movement is that's some nice atmosphere, bro. That is super nice. I'm just gonna see, this shot's really good. I like how far away this one starts. I would maybe do... Man, that shot's really nice. I don't think you need Yoda in this shot, and maybe the glow needs to be toned down just a hair. Or maybe more yellow, not so orange. Like lowering the red in it. Dude, these flying creatures though, man, that's such a nice effect. Is there any movement in the... I'm like, is there any movement in the grass? It kind of feels like there should be movement in the grass. Oh yeah, very subtle. For the amount of movement that we're seeing, it feels like the grass would be moving a little bit more. Man, that's crazy. By the way, is it okay for us to ask someone to add sounds to our videos, or is it better doing it ourselves? That honestly doesn't matter, in my opinion. Like, if you have someone in mind that you think can add like really good sound pass on it, that sounds like a great opportunity for them as well, and you can credit them. It's teamwork, right? Man, that's super cool. That has come a long way, Poodlestein. Freaking crazy. That's madness. I don't have much to say on it other than the lighting stuff I was talking about and just any of the compositional details and the movement of the grass. But let me know if you want any other specific feedback. Pushing to the finish. Hell yeah, dude. For potential recruiters, guy that made this is hireable. Yeah, yeah. Dude, that's a very polished scene. Holy cow. Okay. Joe, dude. Good to see you, man. Good old Joy. Let's see what we're looking at here. Yeah, portfolio reviews are done for this year, but we're doing I think the stream says it, right? Discord critiques. We just go through people's stuff. If you have like a new portfolio piece or something that you're working on, we can take a look at that. But it looks like we're right on the tail end of this one. And I don't know if what? Oh my God, name Gouda. I don't know if Gouda's still here, but Gouda had a question. I have it written down. No worries, Adventures. Good to see you. So this scene's looking pretty cool. Joy. I don't know what's the idea behind it. Planning on getting back to this environment during the break. Would love some critique on blockout, composition, and lighting. So let's copy this, bring it over here. So I think the fence detail, the kind of like this fencing stuff, contaminated by chemical weapons. Wow, that's yep. How long has this place been abandoned? Because I think dude, you should post it in the Discord, man. We can take a look. Maybe not on the stream, but like so it's been abandoned for 1 to 2 years. So showing that abandonment time and the kind of like the world's being consumed by nature is going to be important, right? So you've got like foliage up here. Maybe we have like stuff growing down this. We get a few bits of stuff hanging here. We're thinking silhouettes, right? This type of detail. I'd be careful with how much space these take up. Oh, dude, I'd review VFX art. Hell yeah. But like these types of details, be careful with how much room they take up. Because you really want to understand like what's you want to be able to enjoy and see the environment. And I feel like with those, you might be blocking too much of it, right? Bray, what's up, man? Happy Sunday to you. And that, yeah, getting a lot of overgrowth, some greenery coming back. Man, I think in 2 years there'd probably be grass in here, at least a little bit, weeds and whatnot, kind of growing up. Framing wise, is pretty cool. I don't know. So there's three satellite dishes, and I feel like just having one that you see like this one being here, I think will read the best. Instead of having 3 taking up the space, it's like you need some breathing room, you know? And it gives you room for the sky to just be present. So compositionally, I would probably do that. Maybe push the trees down a little bit here as well. Think what else we can. But yeah, think overgrowth and think about where do you want us to look? Do you want us to look here? Do you want us to look here or here? Because right now I feel like we're competing for visuals on those 3 locations. Compositionally, it feels like we're going this way because of the road or the tracks. So I don't know if there's something we could do. Like maybe this sign could be here instead. Oh, hang on here. Maybe that could be here instead. You know? How about removing the pillar and the sign central pillar? That's a good yeah, man. That could be pretty. So you're saying this like this. We can do like Something like that. Don't mind all the craziness. Yeah, so you just basically expose all of this. That's quite interesting. You could really open it up for sure. Especially if this pillar's here. Maybe you can take this pillar and put it here instead. And then have the... So you could do it here, and then you could have the sky back here. So you can still tell that there's like a... Compositionally, there's a... Yeah, that makes it much easier to read. And I mean, if you do that, like you can take all of the satellites and they're the radar dishes and move them more to the right. Maybe the two other ones can be smaller. This is pretty cool though. I'm digging it. I think this would be a good way to go about it. I don't know what happens here because of course I can't see behind that stuff, but there's a wall that goes this way. But getting some depth or distance in there too could be really good. So if you could grab all this. Actually, hang on here. So if all of this stuff back here, you lighten that up. So it just feels like it's getting further away. I don't know. This is cool though. I'm digging this scene. I think the composition adjustments we were playing with will do a lot. Dude, I like painting this stuff in. I would maybe try and do something with the side of this. Maybe either stuff here or like something leaned up against it. Because you want it to feel forgotten, you know? Oh, Bray, I'll take a look at your piece and then we'll call it done. We'll call it good for the stream. Dude. Yeah. I think this will work pretty nicely, though. Dude, I want to see this. Make it happen. I love it. All right, Bray. Let's take a look. Dude, look at this material. So is this your reference? Dude, this feels awesome. Wow, look at the little sewing pattern vibe to it. So I guess the one thing I would probably point out is you've got these like little nicks here. Do you see those? There's like do. Little tiny ones. It's just getting that in here. Just one further out than like what you have here. It's almost like this should be a little bit straighter, and then you add like a little bit of lines there. Yeah, the threading orientation isn't 1-to-1. But that's very specific. I think it's... So the thing is from this distance, it's good to go. Honestly, I think it's fine. I like the colors that you're using as well. Hang on, how is this? You can kind of see it. I mean, you know the surface because it looks like you held it in your own hands. Is this going further up than this material? Because like in yours it is. It's like maybe a little too puffy. Sven, what's up, man? How you doing? You're like right on the tail end of the stream. We're nitpicking. We're just, this looks rad. I would say maybe the displacement amount is just a hair strong. But I like the variation in the sewing that you've done in here. I think it's good. I think you're fine. The nitpicking details that I was highlighting, you're gonna put this on a pillow or something, and then it's gonna be in an environment you're not even gonna look that close. You know what I mean? Oh, it's no worries, Sven. Hope you're doing well. You guys all doing all right? It's about time for me to get out of here. I don't know, is Gouda still in chat? Because Gouda had a question, and it was a very serious one. I'm going to switch shots here for a second. You turned your sleep schedule around. Dude, nice job. Sleep schedules are not easy. He's still here? All right. Okay, give me a second here, because I might need a Miro board to explain this. And then I'll get out of here. Hey, thanks for the Prime Gaming sub, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Brad, I didn't really have much for you, man. It looked pretty good, if I'm being honest. I would say put it on some objects and let's look at it again. Okay, I'm in Miro now. Okay, so the question was, sorry for the off topic. You can answer later or not at all, of course, but I was wondering whether you have advice on how to deal with publisher/producer who constantly changes ideas for game and the look of it, and is saying that even though we decided on game design doc 6 months ago, game design doc is a thing that can change during production drastically. Is this how game dev works? So game design docs will change and adapt as the game is invented. But I guess you would have your game design document, and inside of that you would have things like your art Bible, right? So if you have your art Bible, like who runs these things, right? So this should be art. Oh, hang on here. There we go. This should be art driven. This should be design driven. So like designers. So let's say like design director, art director. Okay. And so these two topics are just kind of running. Those together create the overall game look and feel, playability wise. When I say feel, I mean like playability. But I guess we should do it like this. There we go. So this kind of powers this powers this. And of course there's changes that can happen, yes. But I'm trying to think of how you would you need a producer that can help you show the effects of changing large scope things. So that way, art direction and design direction understand the repercussions of their changes. Because changes are fine, but at the end of the day, a product has to be completed, right? It has to be done. So like what you could do is you have you do like a production breakdown where you break down all of the things that are needed for the product to be completed. You know, all the stuff. And all of those get combined to help you understand production timeline. Timeline slash length. So with all of these, you know, you do a breakdown of all this stuff, and then it gets organized, and they figure out like, okay, this is what we need to do in order for the project to be done, and it's going to take X amount of time. Every time you make a change, it will delete some of these. It will add new ones. Some will get bigger now. Some that were done, hang on here. Some that were done are now being converted back to not done because the direction shifts. So it's really up to the production side that's tracking all of this stuff to let you know and to let directors know how these changes affect everything. Because if there's enough changes, you will miss your deadline, right? And that sounds like you're stressing because of change. But the question is, are you stressing about change because they already said that they were happy with it? You should, at least in my mind, the game isn't done until it's on the shelves, right? So something could change very, very last minute, and you have to be able to pivot. Getting comfortable with that concept and being able to triage and figure out if it's a good idea or not to actually do that pivot or stay the course, you get that help with production and people overseeing the project. But you should also be comfortable with or not comfortable. You should be able to raise your hand and be like, yo, we're not going to meet our deadline. Or I feel that there's a risk that we'll miss the deadline otherwise. Nice, Curious. It's all good. It's in the recording. So hopefully that helps with this type of topic. It is a bigger topic that's kind of difficult to deal with in some cases, but it is almost always something that is happening. People are always going to want to ask for more, always going to want to increase the quality of the content. And it's up to production and the people that are actually doing the work to tell them whether it's doable or not within the set amount of time. Yeah, it's more of a metaphorical or figurative speak to say it's on shelves. And this is very simplified. Yeah, translating changes into costs. Yeah, it's like you're going to miss deadlines. Like, yo, we finished half our task and now you're telling me that we have to go back and redo things because now they're different. Like, what? First, let's assess, is this a good idea? Looking at the changes, is it worth it? How long does it take? Let's see how long these changes would take. Get those estimates in and then figure out like, okay, where does that put us? That's how we should look at it. But yeah, hopefully, Gouda, whenever you see that, it is helpful for you. Gouda always coming in with every time Gouda writes a message, it's, I'm sorry, this might be a bit off topic. Every time. Every time it's a little bit off topic. Don't worry about it, Gouda. Just ask your question. I'll let you know if I can answer it. But okay, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'll see you guys hopefully Thursday if I have energy. That seems to be the issue these days. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys hanging out, and thank you for submitting all of your work. I'm feeling pretty good. I just have that stupid cough that won't go away. So, meh. But I don't know if the bot's working. Let's see. Discord. No, the bot is so mad. So mad. We're going to have to get a different bot then. Okay, guys. Have a good evening. Thank you for hanging out, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye, guys.